Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and we've got something that I have long wanted to see on, well, I can't say on the tabletop because I already have one and painted one, but I guess in a larger scale format, and that is a Chaplain in the Joytoy 40K line. We have yet to see one, and we're a couple years in, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we actually have one now. We have Primaris Chaplain Brother Varys. And so you can see he is based on the Primaris ones. And I don't think, I keep thinking he was like in one of the box sets, but I don't think he was. I think he was a clamshell, wasn't he? I've painted a lot of chaplains in my day. At one point, I had a whole one-page rules kill team built of nothing but chaplains, which was kind of fun. But you can see here, I really liked him with his kind of Old West duster trench coat. He's got the hood. He's got the Crozius. He's got a big old, I'm assuming a bolt pistol, because I was going to say plasma, but it doesn't look like one. He's got his, what was the book called? Oh my god, I'm forgetting my Space Marine lore. Anyway, he does have an Ultramarine emblem on his, oh, that's new. He does have that Ultramarine emblem on his shoulder pad. This is a base. I think this is the first of the Joytoy figures I've owned that actually included a base. I'm going to try to make as much noise as possible there, obviously. Ooh, he's a nice looking one. Ooh, I like this. Take a look at his little litany scrolls. Oh my god, why am I forgetting what everything is called today? One nice thing to notice is that his Ultramarine insignia is actually just like tampered on, or whatever they call it, where they, you know, it's not sprayed, it's not embossed or anything. So if you wanted to, go ahead and paint that over and make him into a chaplain of whatever your chapter of choice is. That would absolutely work. Sadly, the hood is not removable. I've always been kind of curious what's going on with the backside of that helmet, if it's actually a helmet, faceplate, what have you. Varys as well is not embossed or anything, so again, if you wanted to paint over his name, more power to you. Little skull there, I hadn't noticed the details. All of the skulls on the sides. I'm not checking under. let's go check out under the skirt there now. It doesn't look like there's actually space in the holster for his pistol to go, which is kind of a shame. Why can't I think of the title of the book that Guillemot was supposed to have written about all of the tactics of the Space Marines? That is sad. Good amount of hands. I'm not going to mess with them at the moment. I know this chain is supposed to like go on there. I'm not going to bother playing with all that right now. I'll give him his Crozius at least. His real mean walking stick. Does it want to go in his hand? This is a problem I have with most modern day action figures, is getting the items into their hands. Nothing wants to fit these days. And since they packaged him with his trigger finger, might as well go ahead and give him something to put that finger on. There we go. Backside, you can see some nice highlights to give it a bit of a weathered look. Some pouches up back there. I always wish these thruster things were posable, but they're not. The iron halo is kind of sharp, actually. I was figuring it would be like some soft rubber material. It's actually not. Kind of bummed out there's nothing on the back of his backpack, but that's okay. I feel like I'm talking really quietly, and I'm trying to get like the right adjustments on this new mic. So if things are too loud, too quiet, by all means, please let me know. But he is quite the looker, if you're curious about the scale. Kind of big for just a typical tabletop game. If you're curious how he scales with some other Joytoy figures, a typical human, part of their whole wuxia kung fu line, and honestly one of my favorites. I love this guy's pipe, and he's got a command brush whisk thing that's actually on a ball joint for smacking his enemies around, but the pipe just gives me shades of, Thunderbolt Fantasy, and I forget the dude's name now. I get it mixed up between the Chinese version and the Japanese version. The pretty boy with the white hair that always fought with the pipe. That's an interesting show. Let's get a regular Marine. So he is a little bit taller than our Blade Guard veteran here. Of course, he's a Space Wolf. Maybe he's just a pup. Even with the extra backpack. For whatever reason, this guy does not like to keep his backpack attached, which is kind of a bummer. But you can see there is a little bit of a height difference. And I don't know if this is something that's going to be, since he's in, I want to say, didn't they have like reliquary armor or something? Or maybe I'm thinking more of the Stormcast Eternals or something. I don't know. But I do think that aren't the Artificer armor. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Or Champion armor. I don't remember. But anyway, someone will probably pop up and give me a quick lore history, hopefully. But you can see there is a good sense of scale between the figures here. And if you aren't really familiar with the Joytoy stuff, these are all 1/18 scale, which basically boils down to G.I. Joe scale. So if you've got the old 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joes, you have in scale Space Marines and Kung Fu Warriors. And Adeptus Custodes, if that is something that you are so inclined to wish to purchase. Now, you can see here we got a nice family reunion there. Also, if you have a chance, and if you've seen them in person and if you're interested, the Soto figures from, or not Soto, Shoto, or both of them for that matter, any of those Kamen Rider figures, I think we've done some videos on them before. If you guys ever have a chance to come across any of those out in the wild, those are actually going to be in the same scale. They are 1/18 figures as well. So if you want to have Kamen Rider or Super Sentai versus Space Marines, that is something that is entirely doable in scale. But I mean, if you haven't had a chance to experience these Joytoy figures, the amount of articulation, the attention to detail, I know sometimes people like to gripe about the quality control. I've got a lot of Joytoy stuff at this point. I don't want to drag everything out every video, just some of the hits and my favorites. But I think in the extensive time that I have purchased, messed with, displayed these guys, I've had one joint get messed up, which was easily remedied by, pulling it out with a clipper and popping a new one in. It's hard to get the replacement joints, but I mean, they are super duper articulated. I know they're not doing anything exciting in this video. If you want to see really exciting stuff, I'm sure there's other people out there doing a much better job of that. But I just want to give people a chance to, be aware of these things, because unfortunately, we're all kind of in our own specific lanes of interest, and sometimes people just aren't aware of this stuff. And honestly, the Primaris Chaplain was one of my favorite figures when it came out. It was like almost an instant purchase. I had to get it. I wanted it, and I painted it immediately. And I'm sure there's pictures floating around of him somewhere on the internet, probably on Daka. I don't know where I put mine. I was searching extensively for him the weekend before I filmed this, and my search came up empty, unfortunately. When I do find him, if fingers crossed it does happen, we'll go ahead and post some photos just so you guys can see how spot on they copied my paint job. I mean, I totally copied the GW one anyway. So honestly, cool looking figure. If it's something that you're interested in, do keep your eyes peeled. I know that Joytoy has been pumping out releases of this stuff. They've got version 2s of some of the basic Marines and the Aggressors coming. Of more interest to the Games Workshop 40K fans, I know they have Horus Heresy era Marines coming soon. That's going to be interesting. Still haven't seen any demons yet. kind of be interested to see some actual demons. I mean, I'll be honest. I just want Skull Taker. I want an articulated Skull Taker figure. That would be cool. Or a Bloodthirster, but, you know, considering they just showed off the Grey Knight baby carriage mech thing, Dread Knight, was that what they were called? It's like $300, so a little bit too pricey for my price range at the moment, but who knows? Maybe I'll strike it rich someday doing YouTube. or with my lofty teacher salary. But, you know, who knows? Someday maybe I'll come across one. I would love to mess around with it and take a look at it. But in the meantime, we'll stick to the more reasonably priced figures, and hopefully we'll get some Infinity stuff on this table soon. And I think with that said, then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.